When civilization collapses and temperatures begin to fall, fire becomes a necessity. Most people think survival fires are about sparks and flames. But here's the reality. Starting a fire is easy compared to keeping one alive. In cold environments, fire becomes your heat source, your cooking tool, your water purifier, and your morale booster. Without it, your body loses heat faster than it can produce it. Hands stiffen, judgment fades, fatigue sets in, and once hypothermia begins, survival becomes an uphill battle most people never win. This is where firewood collection and storage become critical. In a world without hardware stores, gas heaters, or dry firewood bundles, every piece of fuel matters. Collecting the wrong type of wood wastes energy. Carrying too much burns calories you can't afford to lose. Carrying too little leaves you scrambling in the dark, cold, and danger. In this video, we're going to break down how cold temperatures change the way you must think about fire. We'll explore how to identify usable fuel sources, why not all wood burns the same, and how smart survivors separate fuel by size to build and maintain reliable fires. You'll learn the hierarchy of fire building, from fine tinder to kindling to long-burning fuel, and why skipping a step can cause your fire to fail when you need it most. We'll also cover one of the most overlooked and most deadly mistakes people make: letting their firewood get wet. Rain, snow, ground moisture, and condensation can turn perfectly good fuel into useless weight. In survival conditions, damp wood doesn't just slow you down. It drains your energy, kills your fire, and exposes you to the cold. Knowing how to store firewood properly, even with limited materials, can mean the difference between a controlled flame and a freezing night. This video isn't about fantasy survival setups or unrealistic scenarios. It's about real-world fire management. What works, what fails, and why people underestimate how much planning fire truly requires. Stay with us until the end, because understanding how to collect, organize, and protect your firewood may be one of the most important survival skills you ever learn. When the cold arrives and help is gone, fire isn't optional, and how you manage it determines whether you make it through the night. Let's get started.
Imagine a world plunged into silence. The hum of electricity is gone. The only sound is the wind, and it's carrying a cold that seeps into your bones. Your only defense, your only source of warmth, is a small fire, but it's struggling. The logs you gathered are hissing, choking out more smoke than heat. You watch, helpless, as the tiny flame you worked so hard to create flickers and dies. In that moment, you realize the chilling truth. Your fire didn't fail because you couldn't get a spark. It failed because you didn't respect the fuel. In a long-term crisis, your approach to firewood is a strategic art. It begins with a rule that feels counterintuitive. You must collect far more wood than you think you will ever need. Think of it as an insurance policy. Every extra log is another day of warmth banked against a future where an injury might keep you from foraging, or a blizzard might trap you for weeks. When you're exhausted and hungry, the last thing you want is to be scrambling for fuel in the dark. This over-collection isn't greed, it is foresight. It's the quiet understanding that the work you do today is what will keep you alive when you are at your weakest. Once you have your supply, the next critical step is often ignored. You must separate your wood by size. This isn't about being neat, it is about efficiency and control. A fire is built in layers. You need a hierarchy of fuel. First, your tinder, the fine, dry material that catches the initial spark. Then, your kindling, pencil-sized sticks that transition the flame. Next, your small fuel wood, wrist-sized pieces that build a strong bed of embers. And only then your main logs, the larger pieces that provide sustained heat for hours. Trying to light a large log with tinder is a futile exercise. This layered approach is fundamental. It allows you to nurture a fragile spark into an enduring, life-saving blaze without smothering it. But perhaps the most devastating mistake is underestimating moisture. Keeping your firewood dry is non-negotiable. Wet wood doesn't just burn poorly, it actively works against you. It wastes precious energy boiling off its own water before it can ever produce meaningful heat. It smolders, producing clouds of smoke that can suffocate you or give away your position. Proper storage is paramount. Your wood must be elevated off the ground to stop it from absorbing moisture. It needs a roof to protect it from rain and snow, but its sides must be open to the air. Airflow is the secret ingredient, constantly wicking away moisture, seasoning the wood, making it ready. So many believe the hardest part of fire is getting it started. The reality is, most fires fail after ignition. They fail because the kindling was damp, where the next layer of fuel wasn't ready. They die in that crucial gap between a flicker of hope and a sustained blaze. In the end, a fire is more than just a tool. The crackle of dry, burning wood is a psychological anchor in the chaos. And that comfort, that life-saving warmth, is something you earn through the discipline of collecting more than you need, the wisdom of sorting it by size, and the foresight of keeping it meticulously dry. It's not just firewood, it's your future, built one log at a time.